What's up guys, Ruppy here bringing you a bit of an update video. I know, it's been a while since you've heard from me. Not so much if you've seen my, Rupdat channel at all lately. I mean, I did recently just polish off a couple of projects over on that channel. I know it's been 2-3 weeks since then, and it's been even longer since you've seen anything for the PokeRup channel here. As far as my Rupdat channel is concerned, just a little brief thing for that. Basically, what that one boils down to is I'm just trying to focus on the project I'm currently working on. I'm putting a bit more into it than I originally thought I was going to, so it's taking a little longer. Overall, though, the reason for a lot of delays as of late has been mostly some personal issues, some family stuff that I would rather not get into for kind of obvious reasons. So I'm just gonna leave it at that. So this is gonna address a few things that you might have been curious about as far as what's been going on while I have been away, because obviously, even though I haven't been uploading content, all my stuff has not stopped for obvious reasons. That would kind of be bad if it did. So, let's kick things off with what you are seeing right now. The video that I'm using as far as the background video, I guess, for this update video is my GPL playoff game. It was the first round / semifinals. I say that because we only had a 6-team league this time around, and 4 of the teams made the playoffs. My Olivine Beacons managed to snag the #1 seed at the end of the season, being the only team to knock off the Snowpoint Avalanches all season, which was kind of amazing. And for the first round, we had to play the #4 seed Canalave Geologists, coached by Friday, who I had also beaten twice in the regular season. They were close games, I will admit, but for the most part, the strategy I put together kind of held up. Not so much this game, and I will get into that more in a little bit. As far as GPL and AABL even, as far as why those videos stopped, I'll get into that more so when I talk about the AABL as to what exactly happened there, but the difference between the two is that with the AABL, I at least still plan on trying to, even though that season is also done now, at least as far as I'm concerned. Well, I guess for the most part, the season itself is done. There's one little bonus thing that's going on, but I'm not part of it, so it doesn't necessarily concern me. But at least with the AABL, I will be able to try to show you everything that did happen, and it allows me to kind of test the water with a new way I want to try to do this, just to see if it makes it a little easier on me as far as being able to focus on my games and such. We'll try it and see how it goes from there. I'm probably going to need more battles to really test it, but as I said, we'll see how it goes. GPL, however, is an entirely different problem. For the simple fact that, as many of you might be aware, within the past couple weeks or so, there was a mandatory update for Pokemon Sun and Moon, update 1.2 I believe, that everyone had to get in order to be able to do Wi-Fi battles. And as tends to be the problem, at least as far as Sun and Moon apparently, having to get this update means that all your previous battle videos become unplayable. So, unfortunately, I did not get a chance, wasn't able to find a hole in my schedule to be able to record weeks 6 through 10. I did record week 5. I don't know if I'm going to upload that game or not at this point because, honestly, it's kind of moot. But, basically, I wasn't able to get everything taken care of to be able to actually present those videos in some fashion. So, those are unfortunately going to have to be lost. I did have to update to be able to actually play this game, as a matter of fact. So, yeah, that's what happened there. But, honestly, basically, to give you the long story short version of what happened, My Olivine Beacons ended up finishing the season at 8-2. We tied for best record. The reason I got the first overall seed was because, again, I beat the Snowpoint Avalanches twice during the season, so I held the advantage in the tiebreaker. Had they managed to beat me in the final week of the season, they would have beaten me in terms of differential because they had roughly double the differential I did. Because my games were mostly beat you down, grind you out kind of games. He kind of decimated people with his sand team, which ironically he did not bring in either of the games he played against me. He brought some nice tricks against me, but he didn't exactly bring his ever so dangerous sand team, which was kind of surprising. Not even to our doubles game, which was his home field format. But this game is where everything came to a screeching halt. And I want this game to serve as a perfect example to you guys. Never, under any circumstances, make assumptions when it comes to draft format. No matter the case. So, because Friday kind of stuck with the same 6 mons throughout most of the season, kind of only started briefly changing it up near the end, I kind of just started going under the assumption that the same game plan was going to work every time. The game plan I built for the first game, which I did manage to upload and you guys have seen. It did work in the second game, even though he did bring a couple of different mons. This game, realistically, I should have switched things up a bit and actually prepped a whole different team. I guess it never clicked in my head that maybe it's just because the Grand Pokemon League was a bit more of a laid-back league compared to, say, the A-Drive Army Battle League or most of the draft format leagues out there. So I guess it never really clicked in my mind that this was going to be a problem up until I played this game. And I'm just gonna go ahead and say the results straight up right now. I lost this game 6-0. I got 6-0'd in this game, which did not sit well with me at all. And the main reason I lost this game is because, maybe it's just because I'm so used to the fact that it's generally banned everywhere it goes, just because of its raw power and shadow tag. It never once clicked in my head that what I thought was a flawless team against his entire roster did have one fatal flaw. All he had to do was bring Mega Gengar. By bringing Mega Gengar, he threw my entire strategy into disarray because that thing could easily trap and kill the one thing I had that would have been able to decimate his Zygarde complete. And lo and behold, that is exactly what happened. Well, I didn't necessarily trap Feeny, I took every measure possible to try to prevent that. But in doing so, I let the rest of my team kind of get the tar kicked out of it in the process. And I basically got grinded down myself. And Friday and his Canalave Geologist from the number 4 seed did end up going on to win the Grand Pokemon League, which, if he ever watches this video, he might feel salty about what I'm about to say, but I do apologize, and I do want to congratulate him for winning the Grand Pokemon League. But at the same time, this game, and a game we played right afterwards for the main league, which he also 6-0'd me in, but not so much that one, it was more so this game. This game made me so disgusted with Pokemon Sun and Moon, Pokemon in general, my talents as a Pokemon player. This game really got under my skin and ticked me off. Maybe it's just the fact that he went on to win the Grand Pokemon League using a team that in virtually every other draft format league would have been illegal because of the likes of Mega Gengar, the Zygarde Complete. I know most leagues do ban Tapu Lele, same with Mega Metagross. Maybe it's just because I lost to a team that had that, and I was so used to a more kind of standard, I guess, draft format kind of style, that this loss really got to me. But I stepped away from the Ion Pokemon League indefinitely after this loss. And if it wasn't for the AABL, in all honesty, I probably would have straight up just given up on Pokemon in general at this point. I know the announcement was recently made that Gold, Silver, Crystal are coming to Virtual Console. Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon are coming out later this year, which I'm going to give them a chance just to see what happens. But I know a lot of people are not too happy with it. But yeah, I don't know. I just got really upset with this game, and it really bothered me. I know I'm kind of rambling on about it at this point, but this loss just disgusted me so badly. It made me so angry at everything. Anyway, moving on to the A-Drive Army Battle League. The season is over. I know I'm going to be able... Basically, I am going to be able to show you guys the videos of everything that did happen. I am going to be working on those just so I can at least say I did finish videos for a draft format season for once. I know I kind of end up getting backlogged on it. The main reason why I put all that on the back burner was because I went on this blitzkrieg for my Rupdat channel to try to get both Stick of Truth and revive and properly finish my Backyard Soccer series on that channel, both before the end of the month of May. Mostly because I was trying to beat the deadline to when YouTube made the still asinine decision, in my opinion, to kick annotations to the curb. Which, I've toyed around with the end slates thing a bit, and I do like it to some degree. It takes a bit of pressure off me for trying to design the end of videos, I guess. But cards, I had not gotten to toy around with that yet, but part of me just still doesn't like it. But that's a whole different rant entirely. But I got so focused on trying to get those series finished up just so I could keep all their respective end slates copacetic. Damn you, Shady Penguin, for introducing that word into my daily vocabulary. But I got so into trying to get those videos finished for that reason that I unfortunately ended up putting Pokérup on the back burner. As far as the A-Drive Army Battle League is concerned, my week 5 and 6 games, I do have the live comms for those, as well as team builder videos, so I will work on those to try to get those up respectively. Weeks 7 through 10, I am going to do I'm basically going to mash together the team builder and a post-com, like I know some players for the GBA and MPA have done. Well, I'm not so sure about the MPA. I know the GBA had a couple players who did, who merged their team builder videos with their actual battle videos. That's kind of the style I want to try doing from now on, just to give it a bit of a test, I guess, and see how well it works. Because I'm hoping to maybe try to transition that style. I don't know how entertaining it's going to be, but basically it might make things a little easier on me to be able to put it might be the best middle ground I can come up with to still adequately explain my team building process and simultaneously be able to actually give you guys a video rundown of the battle while being able to actually focus on the battle itself. Because I feel like where I started to really slip up in the AABL, at that halfway point of the season, was I got so focused on my commentary that my actual battling ended up suffering. I know it's gonna spoil things at this point, but I might as well do it anyway. You will see it when the battle videos go up. But to make a long story short, I ultimately finished the AABL with a record of 7-3. I took second place in the time conference, though I did end up having the best differential in the entire Sinnoh region at plus 22, which is pretty impressive, honestly. And ultimately, you guys will be getting... Let's see... you guys will be getting roughly 10 videos from me. As I said, the team builders and live comps for weeks 5 and 6. Weeks 7 through 10 will be, the mixture of the team builder and a, post-com. And you will also get my conference playoff game, as well as the, time conference championship game where I was, unfortunately defeated. The Sinnoh region ultimately ended up being won by the Space Conference champion, the North London Auxiliaries, so congratulations to them. Aside from that, I am also in another draft format league right now. I was asked kind of 3 to 4 weeks into, their season if I could take over for another coach because, he wasn't able to keep up with it. I'm not going to be uploading anything for that for YouTube, for the simple fact that, one, the team I have, other than one transaction I got to make out of my, offered free transactions for taking over the team, I'm not going to be able to I'm not going to upload any of those because, for the most part, the team isn't necessarily mine, per se, and we're almost at the end of that season at this point anyway, so there really isn't a whole lot to, discuss. There is one other thing I am going to be working on, and I will be uploading that hopefully not too far away from when this video goes up. I'll have to see how much effort I want to actually put into putting it together, but I think it's a nice little thing that I think you guys will enjoy. I will say this, it does pertain to the recent GBA finals. It was done before the finals game was actually played, but I know it's going up kind of a bit later, but I don't know if anything's actually going to come of that, but it's kind of worth uploading, I feel like. As far as the future of PokeRup is concerned, this is probably the period of time where I'm going to start trying to get into maybe attempting a few Nuzlocke playthroughs, just to keep some, life breathing into this channel. Because I'm not sure if or when, well, I'm not sure when the next draft format league I'm going to join will be. And I don't know when I'm going back to the Ion Pokemon League because I still kind of feel like I need to, calm down from that one. There are some other things I am working on Pokemon related wise as far as Sun and Moon's concerned, but that stuff is probably not going to come to fruition until, after PAX West in a few months. So, keep your eyes peeled for that, I guess. So, that's kind of a bit of a basic breakdown. Nothing too terribly exciting, I guess, but it just gives you a bit of an update as to where things stand, and a bit of a peek into what I'm hoping to do, just to try to get this channel back on its feet and keep going. Don't worry about the Rupdad channel. I've already laid out my next project there, and I am working on it. It's just taking a bit longer than I anticipated, partly because of the personal/family issues, and partly because I decided to make this project a little more difficult than I originally anticipated, just kind of trying to go over the top with it, I guess. But that's for that. This video is for this channel, and I think I've rambled on long enough, and I apologize for that. So, thank you guys so very much for watching. I have been Ruppy, and I will see you guys next time. Take care.